Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Speechless. I'm your host, Dan Halpern, and today we'll be debating the issues that matter. We cover a wide range of topics from politicians to pop culture. Tonight, we'll be discussing super PACs, Apple's terms and conditions, and censoring Yik Yak. Let's get ready for a fierce fight. Ready, set, Speechless. Welcome back to Speechless, and let's give a warm welcome to the two teams that will be debating tonight. On this side, we have the Colonial Centaurs with James and Julia. Are you guys ready for tonight's debate?
Definitely, yeah.
So ready.
Very good, very good. And on this side, we have the Walker.
Are you going to introduce in that order?
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to introduce in that order.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I forgot the camera's on. No, my bad, bro.
Can you introduce it the other way?
Introduce the other way. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Do you want it changed in prompter?
No, I don't even read what it
That's
says.
what's in the prompter. He just flipped it.
Okay, it's what's in the prompter. He just accidentally flipped it.
Okay.
It's the wrong thing.
Because it shows up as us.
Basically,
You can
Dan,
see it.
you're a
They have
shitty
the
host.
werewolves and the
Okay.
us. So if you flip it, the
Our last
graphics
names are
don't.
also there. We should never say.
I feel you.
We're going from you introducing the teams.
Okay. Walker werewolves.
Twenty seconds. No, that was weak. Oh. Yes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Speechless. Let's give a warm welcome to the two teams that will be debating tonight. On this side, we have the Walker Werewolves with Kate and Siobhan. Are you guys ready for tonight's debate?
We are pumped.
Absolutely.
Should be a good debate.
Looking forward to it, man.
Awesome.
It's gonna be good.
Awesome. And on this side, we have the Colonial Centaurs with Julia and James. Are you guys excited for tonight's debate?
Yeah, totally.
So ready.
Doesn't seem like it. Well, let's go to our judges first to see what they're thinking. We have Josh, Medina, and PT. Are you guys excited? Because this side doesn't seem that excited.
Hi, Dan. I'm excited. It's been a rough week, so I want to be entertained.
I'm excited on these topics, so that's what we're excited.
It'll be interesting to see how some of these go.
Awesome. Well, it's now time to begin our very first debate. Currently, the current two Republican frontrunners, Donald Trump and Ben Carson, have one thing in common. Neither one of them is backed by super PACs. A super PAC is an independent political action committee which can raise unlimited sums of money from corporations, unions, and individuals. But it's not permitted to contribute to or coordinate directly with parties or candidates. Some say that super PACs cause dishonesty and should be eliminated, while others believe that they are simply a part of our political process. So should there be restrictions on super PACs? I think we're going to have to start with the Colonial Centaurs. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so we don't think super PACs should be a thing.
And why not?
There definitely should be restrictions. I mean,
Definitely.
it was originally started in 1944 to raise funds for Roosevelt. You're basically just raising money, and where does this money go? It's just simply a plot to fundraise for candidates, and they already have enough money, so why?
Can you define what you think the restrictions should be on a super PAC? Because you can't just say, oh, we should restrict them.
How can you say they have enough money immediately? Like, where are they getting all this money if they're not? If it's not raised from somewhere, all the money has to come from somewhere. A candidate doesn't just show up with $2 million in their back pocket.
Well, the thing is that super PACs are a relatively new thing. We didn't have these back in the 1700s, so people were funding themselves, and now the corporations can dump unlimited amounts of money.
Well, Dan, but you bring up the 1700s. There were also numerous other restrictions. Women couldn't run for office. People of color couldn't run for office. So if you're gonna hold up, when the country was made as the standard.
Well, no,
the Supreme Court case, United States versus United Citizens, said corporations are actually people. So that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Well, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about super PACs, which
but that directly correlates.
But yeah, that correlates to that. What Dan's
Hold
point
on,
was saying.
we have
I
things
have
we want to say.
From,
you interrupted us? Yeah. So continue.
Yeah, no.
Please continue.
It's getting a little bit heated, guys. Let's hear it from you guys. What do you think?
Oh.
Well, I just want to bring up the fact that you said corporations are people, but this isn't Like it's not like a corporation.
No, I
it's
didn't
the
say
people in
corporation or
charge.
people. They were decided by the Supreme
Well,
Court
That's what they
that
said.
they were people.
I know you're saying that. So like, if we're having that discussion about the corporation being people, it's not the corporations that are donating. It's the people in charge of the corporation. So
like
it's
like the Koch brothers, who
yeah,
millionaires.
yeah, no,
Koch
but
brothers. Sorry,
the thing is,
the Koch brothers are donating, like multi-billionaires who are donating
I
money into these.
I understand.
The last 2012 election, they put in over $100 million into Mitt Romney's campaign. They basically bought the election.
That's not fair to say because it's just, I have a quote here from Bradley Smith, who's the chairman of the Center for Competitive Politics, and he says that super PACs are not just like a part of the First Amendment, they actually embody the First Amendment because it allows a group of citizens, like those two people, to pool money to talk about politics. It gives them
But they
a way.
sell
How are committees make fun, like getting money together behind closed doors? How is that based on our principles? How is that?
Because it's private citizens
but
having their voices
And it's
heard.
not
But
just
the system
behind
have to
closed
release
doors.
these-
You guys want to hear from Kate real quick? Yeah.
Actually, in our opener, we talked about how the super PACs can't directly contribute to a candidate themselves or to help coordinate a candidate. So it's not convincing a candidate either way with money.
upon. What I said earlier is they originally started in 1944 to raise funds simply only for Roosevelt alone.
But that's not how they are now. So we're not talking about whether Roosevelt's the PAC.
But that's what they
Roosevelt
were
guys.
started
Yeah,
as.
but that's not how they are now. So how is that even relevant?
The super
They're
PACs
still like-
But why should
themselves-
money buy a campaign? Like, why should money be a part of the discussion? Like, you should win on your ideas.
Because you need money to get your to be able to
Airtime
say
costs money.
airtime, ads, anything
PBS
that you
does
want to
it
get
free.
your ideas
I mean,
out
it's
there. and
taxpayer
you need
Monday.
to talk
But
about them.
But how many people watch PBS that are going to be that? How are you going to say that PBS has
Well,
the
who's gonna
entire
watch the
voter
news?
demographic that people are
Fox and
targeting?
MSNBC, like, people are not, like, even people don't even watch those networks.
No, yeah, but like those aren't the.
But
only
the
networks
ads
that
are
air
on television everywhere, and
seeing
you
those
need
ads.
money for those
Yeah.
ads, and they don't
But why
cost
should
like
you need
$5.
ads? Because they're not ads talking about the ideas.
But they
They're-
can raise that on their own. They
Yeah.
don't need a committee.
And our government
No, but
matches
they
it.
can't necessarily raise that. And like I have an example here, Newt Gingrich, who during the 2012 election, or during the primaries for the 2012 election, he and Mitt Romney were going back and forth a lot on topics. And the only reason that he was able to stay, Newt Gingrich was able to stay relevant for as long as he was and offer valid critiques of Romney was because super PACs allowed him to get his ideas.
No.
Rick
Shouldn't you say-
Santorum was
that has to do with
also in that
demographics.
same
Yes, but
idea.
Shouldn't you also stay relevant by being a good politician?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be based
If
on
you
how
don't
much
have
money
the
you
money to
have.
stay relevant, you won't be relevant.
Guys, this is an incredible debate. I wish we had more time. We have to defer to our judges. Josh, what do you think?
Oh my goodness. This was quite the debate. I started one way, and then as the debate went on, my view changed, and that's because Siobhan, you came and you did your homework. You know what I'm looking for, the details. Yes, specifics. Thank you so much. So I have to go with the werewolves. I think you guys, kept it
nice.
together.
I think it was very equal throughout the whole debate, but what I picked up a lot from Team Walker is that because of the difference in time and presidency, that super PACs make sense now, that you kind of can't do it without super PACs, so that's why I've sided with you on this debate.
I'm siding with the werewolves as well. I thought that point with Newt Gingrich was a very effective point. It makes it seem like the super PACs are a lot more populist because Romney is obviously much wealthier than Gingrich. And also, I have to point out a specific negative. You guys pointed out that the Koch brothers basically bought the election by donating that much to Romney. He lost. It's true that Romney raised more money and he got a lot from Gingrich, but at the end of the day, he lost. So.
Well, thank you, judges. I appreciate that. I think super PACs are destroying our country, but we're going to announce the winner. Well, I think so. Well, Walker Werewolves, congratulations. You've won the first debate. Stay tuned. Speechless will be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome welcome to this season of College Kitchen. I'm your host, Amelia Fabiano.
And I'm Aaron Königsberg.
College Kitchen is a show where we're going to take you around Boston to show you all the hottest food spots.
Whether that is man food, which is your burgers, your bacon, your meat, all that grease, yes.
Or like Sweet Talk, where we'll show you sweet tooth lovers where to get your cake fix, your ice cream fix, all that good stuff.
We also have Wild Card, which is your ticket to food from all over the world.
Or if you're on a budget, like I know I am, we'll take you in the kitchen with Alyssa to show you how to make college food on a budget. So sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy.
College Kitchen!
Oh, hey guys, it's me, Christian, one of your very own Backyard Boston hosts. I swear there's another one around here somewhere. Maggie! Well, anyway, Boston's a great city to get around in, whether you're walking or taking the T. Holy bejesus!
Hey Christian, what
Hi,
a great
Maggie.
segue
Oh, no.
into our segment.
Maggie, we talked about this.
Watch us on the Emerson channel where we show
Please
you
don't.
our segue around Boston.
I give up.
And we're back. Apple has sued after a recent iOS update that drove many wireless broadband users over their monthly data allotments. As a result, people unaware of the new feature have found themselves eating more data than usual and creating additional charges because users were not notified of the changes. Some have been questioning whether Apple should be allowed to include unrelated terms and services in their customer agreements. Apple has come back responding that users have the option to turn off the new features. So should Apple have the right to include unrelated terms in their customer agreements? Let's go to you guys, the Walker Werewolves.
We're going to say that no, they absolutely do not have the right. Just like on a moral level, it's so not. It's such like a gray sort of morality that allows them to go ahead and like sneak these things in that are actually costing people money, and it's actually hurting people who might not have the money to spend on that extra data. That could be like the thing that pushes someone who is barely affording a phone over the edge. It's so not right, and it's just kind of like an evil corporation sort of move. So they absolutely should not.
Can I just say?
I'm sorry.
No, you can continue, please.
They put it out there for you to read. It's not like they're hiding
But
it.
they know.
But
Apple knows that they're not reading these.
Yeah, like
That's
nobody's
not my
actually
problem if
reading
you
it.
choose not to
It's
read.
your
It's
responsibility.
the
a
label.
45-page contract filled with jargon that
Actually,
under a
56
person.
pages,
56 pages.
That
Do you have
makes that
time to
further
read
It's
a 56 page?
It is
Yeah.
your responsibility to read. They say,
It's the
have
free
you
market.
read the terms? You're basically lying. If
Do you
say
sit there and read the terms?
Nobody
Do you have
does.
time to read
This is not the
56
debate.
page
It's not
term?
whether I read the debates. About read like.
Should they be able to put in unrelated things?
But
So
does
we-
a normal person have time to sit there, read the terms and conditions, and say, okay, I can understand this and agree with this?
As a consumer, yes.
Apple
You
knows
have-
that people aren't, and so that's morally wrong.
Right.
They wrote the conditions and they put it out there. They're not hiding it in a file that you can't download. They're putting it out there for you to. It's your
It's, but
choice to
it's
skim through
a
it.
situation where it's like it's a fine print sort of situation where you have like you're expecting.
But you can easily turn
and
it off,
and
too.
Let's be honest.
But do they tell you
Apple
how to
knows.
turn it off? No.
Oh, tons of articles have been
Yeah,
published.
all you have to do is Google how to turn off this feature on my iPhone,
Yeah.
and it's right there.
But can I go back to the comment about people not being able to afford it?
Yeah.
The same people that would probably be that are the same people that go to Starbucks and will pay $6 for a cup of
No,
coffee.
you can't.
That
That is something that you
Starbucks
can't.
to Apple. Like they're not.
iPhones is such a first world problem. Like, oh my god, I can't afford my iPhone
that's
bill.
that's actually really not true. Like it is true to
No, because if you can't afford a cell phone, the government will subsidize. New York does it.
Yeah, no,
but not every state does it.
I hear you.
But this isn't part of the
government,
argument.
Medicare,
I'm saying-
Medicaid,
Paul,
both do that.
I'm saying
not
you
part of the
can't-
argument.
You can't say that someone with an iPhone C, which is the plastic iPhones, that is so much less expensive. Apple has created ways for you to get these cell phones.
But also, if you're really struggling for it, wouldn't you research the phone beforehand?
Yeah.
Research
No,
what's
okay,
being put
but
on.
these people who have had these phones and are just doing the update and are rushing, updating their phones, get this new update, and suddenly their data bill is jacked way up. That can be the thing that can be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Especially when you
That's
update
your
your
problem.
software.
You're gonna go and research into it. You're
Yeah.
obviously
No,
not gonna
but I'm saying
they don't
I'm
know
saying
it's
you-
involving
But the
money.
updates, though,
People
your
are
phone
buying the new
stops
phones.
Okay.
working if you don't update your
And
phone.
I'm sorry, and
This is
it's
true.
also, it's not like they're going out and buying a brand new cell phone. They're taking their iPhone 5C that they already have, they're updating it to the new iOS, and then all of a sudden at the end of the month,
But Apple
there are
sends
these
you
new
text
fat
messages
features.
saying you've used 78% of your data, and then you'd be like, if it's more
That's
than
not
usually-
Apple. That's certain
No,
phones
I-
provide.
Apple,
Not every,
I
not
get
every
it.
provider.
You get that
not
from
every
Apple?
provider does
not
I
that.
don't know
every
about
provider
that.
If you have
U.S.
AT&T, they
providers
do
don't
it, but I don't
provide
know.
What providers don't?
I'm reasonably certain.
Verizon
Sprint
Wireless does it.
I know Verizon Wireless does
Do you have a
it.
source to cite that Sprint does not?
I had Sprint for a long time, and I don't remember ever getting a text.
Well, that was a couple years ago before this, so you
That's
can't.
also not a
And-
survey
okay.
of
But
multiple
you
people.
also can't assume that every phone company does it as well.
There are options. AT&T does it. A lot of companies
Do you have
will
a source
do
that says AT&T does it?
what. Medina does. So no, but like in the
Verify
same
Medina?
thing, they do it. Like it's a policy that cell phone companies have been using because a lot of teens have been now using cell phones and parents as a way to monitor.
But this isn't just a
monitoring
problem
it.
with teens. It's Apple sliding in things to their contracts that people aren't gonna
It's not
read,
full
can't
disclosure,
understand.
right.
But it's
And
not
then
that
it's
they're hiding
secretive.
it. They put it
Yeah,
out there for
contract.
everyone to see.
But they
Yeah,
put it
no,
on
we're just
page
saying-
56.
We're just saying that they don't have the right to sneak these things in when they know people aren't reading it. And if they're going to make a change like this, that can financially affect someone. It's their responsibility.
Do you
to
read
do
the
it.
college's
that
policy?
financially
Let's
inside,
take
you
this.
would read
Emerson
it.
College.
Okay.
Do you read Emerson college's policies
sure
and procedures?
don't.
Yes, because I don't want to get kicked out of college for doing something stupid.
Do you read all the
Which,
policies?
Read
which
that stuff.
policies and procedures?
Our
Well,
financial
anyways,
statements,
guys,
our entire.
I'm sorry. This is a really deep debate. Next time we'll have more time. We have to go to our judges. So Josh.
Y'all caught us in a debate of our own. This was interesting because I relate. Okay, I have a smartphone. Don't call me. I don't need
Okay,
to know.
don't
But
call
I hate
Josh.
I hate when and you guys brought it up this thing of like, oh my goodness, I've got to turn off my Bluetooth, okay, because I shut it off and then when it turns back on, my Bluetooth's on. Anyway, I have to go with the Centaurs because there was a simple, logical flow to your argument. The debate was happening and you guys always had a really simple response that had just an easy logic to it. Like, it's your responsibility and you can turn it off quite easily. I thought those were excellent points. So.
Medina?
I love how the Centaurs focused on the responsibility aspect of it and then going on with the rebuttal of if you don't have that much money for a phone, you would read that contract along those lines. I thought that was very persuasive, and that's why I picked the Centaurs for this.
I don't care how much money you have. Nobody reads those things. But
What do you think?
But the problem with me was that the werewolf seemed to be arguing from a moral standpoint, and the centaur seemed to be arguing from a legal standpoint. And I decided, just based on the word, do you have the right as opposed to is it right, to go with the colonial centaurs.
Wow. Thank you so much, judges. Colonial Centaurs, congratulations. You've won the second debate. Speechless will be right back.
Have you had a rough night? We've all been there. And we know where you're going. Backyard Boston, the only plan B you need. Only on the Emerson channel. Are you turned on?
Yik Yak is a social media app that allows users to communicate with other users in their town or general area. Recently, it was pulled into the spotlight over the subject of censorship. Some colleges are concerned that certain posts on Yik Yak can harm their image and give us a skewed view of their institution. Many also wonder about the app's potential to cause harm and promote cyberbullying. Should colleges be able to censor Yik Yak? Why don't we start with the Colonial Centaurs?
Yeah, so like we don't think they should censor it. It's freedom of speech. It's our First Amendment right. I think the issue of like being anonymous about cyberbullying, there are laws now to protect against that. We have advanced the technology that we can trace it.
And the other thing too is it's purposely made to be anonymous. And if you wanted something that's not anonymous, you would just go on Twitter where it's linked to a profile. And yes, they make the argument of cyberbullying, but so many people go on Yik Yak knowing that it's not a serious thing. You don't go on Yik Yak to be serious. People say it to comment on the food, like how everyone's getting food poisoning from the dining hall.
I'm sorry, good point, because that is an Emerson College topic on Yik Yak. But that's absolutely not the case everywhere. There was a case, actually in the article we were linked to prepare for this debate, where 3 students had committed suicide on college campuses because that was linked to cyberbullying on Yik Yak. And the fact that it is anonymous means that even if they trace the person down and are able to find them and are able to reprimand them, that doesn't mean it's going to be in time. Because someone who is suicidal, who may be mentally ill and more at risk for self-harm, drastic actions such as suicide, can lead.
Just to be more inclusive.
Just reading that comment, you could get there too late. So if a college is able to censor and say you cannot be mean,
the thing is,
people,
those words still hurt. Whether it's anonymous or not, you can still read that words that say so and so should go kill themselves.
So then Twitter, Facebook
But the
should
other
be.
thing too is we're arguing you can't be anonymous.
Right.
We're not arguing which platform do you choose to cyberbully someone on. If cyberbullying is cyberbullying, it's inexcusable no matter what platform you use. But we're saying should Yik Yak be anonymous?
But the fact,
and
it's not that it should be anonymous.
Should it be censored?
I'm sorry.
And we're saying certain posts should be censored. Should a college be able to go and take every, like, if someone yiks or yaks, I don't know how to say it, yaks something negative about the college should not be able to censor that. They shouldn't be able to say, oh, you can't talk negatively about our institution because it's an institution. But they should be able to say, you can't talk negatively on an anonymous platform about other students.
But
you can get your yaks knocked down. You get so many, you get knocked down.
But what if no one knocks it down and you see, oh, so and so is a huge.
Well, that's like Reddit. Like I mean, you can knock down a post on Reddit.
But that doesn't mean that the person's not going to see it. And
But
we're
limiting it to college. But what happens for all the off-campus students at Emerson?
Yeah,
they can still be yik-yakking, and we won't know if they're at Emerson or not. So it doesn't matter which college you're from. It's just remaining. Should we have restrictions? And Emerson College has no control over
It doesn't even matter what school you go to. If you're saying something harmful about someone else, they're going to see it, and that's going to affect them negatively.
And to say, I'm not going to dip into the 80 whatever words or 40 whatever words we're not allowed to say on the Emerson channel, but if someone is using slurs, using just like terrible language against someone else, they shouldn't have
who uses Yik Yak? Our generation.
Okay, let it finish.
Yeah, and you're saying our generation doesn't use slurs?
No, our generation has been proven by recruitment managers from HR that we are more socially conscious and more caring.
Just because we're socially conscious doesn't mean that we don't use that word.
Doesn't mean that I
look what's happening in
that doesn't mean that
Missouri.
anyone else doesn't.
We still have to campaign to get rid of the R word because people use it rampantly. And I'm not going to use that word.
We're not. It's a slur. It's a slur. Surprise, everybody. That's why.
But we're turning into the debate about slurring. From Yik Yak is
guys,
for.
let's bring this back to what the original debate was.
I want to ask this question.
Yes, censoring Yik Yak from harmful things that people don't need to see about themselves.
But it's not, guys, hold on.
That's not what it's all
We
about.
can't shelter people forever.
I have a quick
Wait,
question.
hold on.
Quick question, guys. Okay, so if we say the colleges shouldn't be allowed to, restrict it, should Yik Yak have the responsibility to look at all their yiks and yaks and make the choice for themselves.
That's like
They
dictating
should.
like what people can and cannot say. This
Well,
isn't.
But it's their app.
just
It's
saying
their
you can't
choice
use
to
it as a
use it.
platform for anonymous
It's their
cyberbullying.
platform.
But that's
saying
not
if
what people are using it for.
If we censor, what happens when
some
they
people
graduate
have,
college?
though.
No, but what happens when they graduate college? You could have people that graduated last year still using Yik Yak.
Yeah,
getting
Alumni,
at
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
What about
when does
What
that
if
end?
someone wrote something about you that was harmful? You would spend all day upset
Let's-
that someone anonymously
Let's not make this-
didn't
let's
like
not
you.
make this personal,
Whoa,
but
whoa. Let's not
Yeah.
keep it too personal.
Listen to
I
Siobhan.
think we
Let's
had a
not make
good
this
debate. Let's cut it
personal.
off right
See how
here.
painful that would feel?
I am so sorry.
I
Whew, guys, let's start with Josh, Medina, PT. We need to know what you guys thought of this
Wait,
debate.
we have to debate now. We have to make a decision.
Please make a
I
decision.
was wrapped with attention. I just was like, okay, so I had my points. I think I know where I'm going to go. But, this was a really interesting debate, and it was actually quite close for me because I found that everyone made really interesting points. I have more things written down here with the centaurs, though, in terms of like points that really resonated. I liked the freedom of speech bit. I like the fact that you can knock the points down, like Reddit. I like the bit about the off-campus.
Right.
So I have to give it to the centaurs.
Centaurs? Okay. All right.
What I loved about the centaurs is that they said we can't. Yes, cyberbullying affects Yik Yak, but it's affecting all of social media. So you can't just stop one website just because of that. And I really like that you had a lot of rebuttals and just a lot of facts constantly going down and down, and that's why I was persuaded by you guys more.
I actually disagree with that because Facebook and Twitter are not anonymous, so it's a different thing, and I felt that was never addressed. So I'm actually going to go with the werewolves. Not that it matters.
Well, I think it definitely does matter. I think we have a lot of great debates going on here. I think that was incredible. Colonial Centaurs, you've won the third debate, and you've also won the show, but that was incredibly close. You won by just 1 point. So that's all for tonight. We'll see you next time on Speechless.